Hey guys, I'm Miss Penny Stockpincher and today it's all about copper. Just recently, copper has overcome its all-time of 2011 and now sets new standards with a price of €8.27 per kilogram. This is fabulous news for all investors in the resources sector. As you can see here in the one-year chart, the price has doubled in the last 12 months. Looking at the 32-year price chart, we can now assume that the end of the line for the copper price will soon be reached. But exactly that, I think, will not be the case. First of all, the prices shown here are not adjusted for inflation. And even if it is easily forgotten, 10 years ago the world was a lot cheaper. Depending on the view model of the inflation rate, still 30 to 35% are missing to the actual all-time high. On the other hand, the life cycles of many at present operating mines end, without these being substituted sufficiently. Why I'm convinced that the copper price will continue to rise sharply and we're only at the beginning of a mega resource cycle is discussed in the video Commodity Super Cycle. Here we look at the opportunities and risks of individual metals and also explain why the commodity to equity ratio marks that right now is a phenomenal time to invest in mining stocks. So if you're interested, you might want to watch that video first. Today I'm introducing 4 small and risky copper mines, but with huge potential as copper prices rise. Here's a disclaimer up front. I'm holding all 4 of the stocks mentioned here. Now let's briefly see how to interpret copper exploration results and then get to the stocks. Generally, the most important thing is how dense the mineral zone is at the surface and how thick it is in the first place. Here we have to differentiate between open pit and underground mines. Open pit mines have significantly lower mining costs than underground mines due to the use of large machines. In underground mines, for example, complex ventilation systems have to be installed and the mining volume is significantly lower. Therefore, underground copper mines must have a much higher grade to be profitable. Let's take a look at the basic requirements for a copper project. For open pit, requirements should be that the mineral zone is at least 70 meters thick and not deeper than 300 meters. And the mineral zone should also be several hundred meters in diameter to provide sufficient roadway with a moderate gradient for mining vehicles. The copper grade should be at least 0.2%. For underground mines, the mineral zone should be 100 meters thick to even justify the effort to install the necessary infrastructure. Also, the mineral zone should not be deeper than 2,000 meters. If incredibly high grades are present, this would of course justify a project at even lower elevations. The diameter of the mineral zone is irrelevant for underground mining in the first approximation, but the grade should be at least 1%. By the way, the average grade in copper projects is less than 0.6%. But let's check out the companies now. Camino Minerals is a Canadian copper exploration company. It has fallen sharply since 2011 and has a market capitalization of 11.7 million euros now. In 2017, there was already a breakout to almost $2 Canadian. Since then, the stock has been moving relatively horizontally. Camino has 3 projects, all localized in Peru. These include the Plata Dorada, the Muralla Sicilia, as well as the flagship project Los Chapitos, which is already the most advanced. Therefore, we're going to take a closer look at the Los Chapitos project. The exploration phase has already been completed. The full 97-page report is available and can be viewed on the website. The grades are very attractive and range from 0.52% to 1.05% copper. What I like a lot is that the mineral occurrences are relatively close to the surface, especially in the natty zone. Nevertheless, looking at the scale shown here on the bottom right, you can see that all zones are not particularly large. Cobra Limited has a market capitalization of only 13.5 million euros and was only founded in 2018. The share price has dropped again since January. Cobra is an Australian company with exploration activities in Botswana, Gabon, and Australia. Especially the projects in Australia have very high grades of up to 9% copper and shallow depth of only 6 meters. However, there are no external appraisals or even feasibility studies here. Projects in Africa also often have huge potential as production costs are usually lower. Avoca Resources is also an Australian mining company with a market capitalization of 44 million euros. The share price was already at 2.5 Australian dollars and has fallen sharply. It has been bottoming since March 2020. Avoca Resources has a very diverse portfolio of metals. However, the focus is on copper with an estimated 1.3 million tons. The largest copper projects are the Kalkaroo and the Muturu mines. Both projects offer very high copper grades at 0.89 and 1.53%. However, I like the Kalkaroo project even better because this is to be operated as a full open pit operation. Orion Minerals is another Australian mining company with a long and sad history chart-wise. Since 2011, the share price has held steady between 1 to 5 cents. The market capitalization is actually not as small as one would think, but currently stands at 95 million euros. Orion Minerals has several exploration projects and 2 projects in the development phase, all located in South Africa. These are the Prieska copper zinc mine and the Okeep copper complex project. The Prieska project is already further developed and contains about 30 million tons of ore, of which 1.2% is copper. This results in a raw copper deposit of 226,000 tons of copper. The mine is also to be operated as an open pit, but primarily has an underground mine. In addition, the South African President Ramaphosa has already congratulated on the progress of the project. So what else can go wrong? I'm convinced of all 4 stocks, that's why I'm invested in all of them. Based on today's status, I'm now prioritizing these companies in ascending order from rank 4 to rank 1 to the best of my knowledge. The 4th place goes to Cobra Limited due to the lack of transparency. Cobra carries a very high risk in my eyes as there are no documented studies on the mineral deposits to be seen. Should the high grades actually be present and also not be limited to local measuring points, I see the greatest upside potential of all 4 stocks here. However, due to the very high risk, I have only bought a small position here. Camino Minerals ranks number 3. Camino has a very solid and mature high-grade project. However, the total copper deposit could be a bit larger for my taste. Still, considering the low market cap, Camino is an absolute buy for me. Orion Minerals has a strong copper mine portfolio with high grades and favorable anticipated mining costs. However, it is not enough to rank number 1 as the majority of its mines will be underground operations. In addition, the market capitalization is already relatively large. My top buy, and therefore number 1, is Avoca Resources. Avoca offers high grades in an open pit operation that have been confirmed by external feasibility studies. With a deposit of 1.1 million tons of copper in their flagship project alone, Avoca has the potential to multiply even at their current market cap of 44 million euros. Please keep in mind that penny stocks are very risky and can lead to total loss. Feel free to leave comments on your thoughts regarding the copper miners and stocks. And if you're interested in more exciting stocks, you're welcome to subscribe.